Let's look at the text. 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 Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. It says, now it came to pass. Somebody shout now. I dropped my glasses somewhere. Now it came to pass. John, you got to watch. Now it came to pass. Somebody say now. It was a particular day in a particular moment that something was coming to pass. Now, let me help you. There is a place in your life that always has a place called now. Hear me now. There is always a moment in your life called now. The struggle is making it from then to now. Because in the then moments, you feel like, hey, I'm not getting what I'm praying for. I'm not getting what I'm asking for. Things don't seem to be going the way I need them to go. What is going on in my life? What is the Father really doing? I don't really understand it. I can't trace them. I feel like I'm lost and I'm losing it. But there's always a now place. Somebody say it's always a now place. There's always an appointed moment in your life where the Father will push you to a place to walk in what you're dreaming. Okay. There's always a now day that comes along. If you can make it through the then, you will always get to the now. If you can make it through the then, you will always get to the now. The question becomes, can you survive the then in preparation of receiving the now? Because the then is going to have some trouble. The then is going to have some stretching moments. The then is going to have some suffering. The then is going to have some agony. The then is going to have some pain. The then is going to have some folk that walk away from you. The then is going to have some backbiters. The then is going to have some jealous folk. The then folk will have some folk that cast you aside. The then is going to have some moments where you want to cry and pull your hair out. But there always come a point of now if you can survive. Because, listen, you got to understand, you can't faint in the process of getting to your now. I got to help you understand there is a now set for everybody. Somebody shout, there's a now set for me. I just got to make it there. Listen, the thing about us, the problem with us is that we give up at the point of too close to making that. I had an opportunity, I've been ministering all weekend long. I had an opportunity to minister to a young lady, and I was telling the story, and I might have told this to y'all before. When Jonathan was wrestling, he was on a wrestling team, and then he ended up turning out being pretty good in wrestling. He made it in this tournament, and he was winning. He won all the matches, and he got to the final match that he was wrestling in. And in the match, he said that the guy was just as strong as he was, and he wrestled and wrestled and wrestled, and he said, and at points he wanted to give up, but he kept fighting. He said, and all of a sudden he said, man, I just felt like all my energy left me. He said, so I just decided I couldn't take it no more, so I let the guy pin me. He said, to my surprise, when I rolled over and looked at the clock, I only had 5 seconds left. If I would have just held out for 5 more seconds, I would have been a winner instead of a loser. So you got to understand that there is a now that is coming in your life, and sometimes we give up at the point of being so close to the now that we've been looking for and searching for and praying for, but we give up right at the brink of it and have to start all over to possess it. Because he couldn't go back and say, hold on, let's start where we pinned at and give me those 5 seconds back. He lost it. So he had to wait till the following year to wrestle again, to try it all over again. And sometimes when we give up at the point of the now, it resets us to a place that we have to start all over and climb back to the same place so that we can receive the blessing that the Father is trying to release. Somebody say now. It said now. So I said now it came a day. It came a day. It became a day. And the text is very smooth how he puts this. He says now to let us know that this is a critical moment of now. That's why it says that now faith. These now words are the indication of how critical things were. So in this situation, it was critical and it was now. And the writer is trying to get us to understand that your now can come at any moment. His now came at the brink of a defeat. Oh, I got to talk to you. Sometimes your victory comes right after you suffer great loss. Oh, okay. So he said, now this is the day. Somebody shout day. Now this day cometh, and Jonathan, the son of Saul, said unto his young men that bear his armor, that bear his armor. Somebody say bear his armor. He said, come, let us go over to the Philistines' garrison that is on the other side. But he told not his father. The reason why he didn't have this conversation, okay, let me help you. You got to learn how to mature to the point where you talk with people who walk in victory. The problem becomes with us is that we spend too much time having counsel with folk who don't have any victory. We keep talking to folk that's going through and dealing with and suffering issues. And we got to find folk who are experiencing the victory of life so that we can talk to them. Because if you're getting ready to face a battle, it's nothing worse than talking to somebody who's just lost. When you're getting ready to go for a fight, it's nothing worse with talking to someone that just lost. It's nothing worse that you're getting ready to start a restaurant and you talk to someone that just failed. Because all they're going to tell you is how they failed and why they failed. And you really don't got time to hear the why you failed story. I need somebody to talk to me with some victory so it will encourage me because I'm standing on a maybe. And since I'm on a maybe, what you say to me at this point will determine what I decide. It will determine if I start or it will determine if I don't start at all. So I'm standing on the maybe. So right now, I need to speak with somebody who has the capacity of victory to be able to encourage me so that I can do what I'm thinking about doing. The problem with us is that we spend too much time talking to folk who are defeated. And we listen to folk who have defeatism mentality. And we let their defeat, we let their failure, we let their problems become our identity. So that's why you balancing in between what are you going to do, because you listen too much of folk from the suffering saint more so than the folk that got victory. So he said, listen, I can't talk to my daddy right now because my daddy has just been rejected by Yahweh. So if he's just been rejected, me and him can't really talk about this thing because he might speak to me out of his rejection, and I don't feel like being crippled right now because of his hurt. I don't feel like being crippled. I don't feel like being handicapped. I don't feel like being talked down. I really don't feel like hearing that because he might say something to me out of his rejection because Yahweh just rejected him to the prophet Samuel. And out of his rejection, he may say something to me that might discourage the warrior in me, and I may never fight like I want to fight again. So I can't talk to him because we ain't got nothing in common right now. So you got to be mature enough to know who you can talk to about what you're doing and what season you're in. Oh, help me in here, Father. He said, blessed the man that walking not in the counsel of the un-Yahweh like. See, we always think that that's folk outside the church. Then he said, no, sitteth in the seat of scarlet. So evidently, he's talking about the believers here. And being un-Yahweh-like, that could be at this particular moment, you could be going through a spell of rejection from Yahweh. You could be going through a backslidden situation. You could be, y'all ain't hearing me. There's different dynamics of life that you have to make sure when somebody is speaking in your life that they got the right connection, because they may not be in with Yahweh right now. And what they telling you ain't Yahweh-like and will cause you to do stuff that ain't Yahweh-like, and you will suffer the same defeat and trouble that they're suffering because you took their advice and ran with it. So Jonathan said, I can't talk to daddy right now because daddy is in the rebellious state. He's out of his mind. And if I talk to him, he's going to try to talk me out of what I'm doing. Why? Because he will be jealous of the victory that I'm about to go after because he just came out of defeat. It's nothing worse than you trying to get encouragement from somebody that just went through something. They are not going to be excited enough about what you're trying to do because they're still soaking in what they coming out of. Oh, I know the text says rejoice with them that do rejoice, but the truth of the matter is 10% of the folk rejoice with them that do rejoice, because some folk just can't help to praise with you because they are going through. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, they can't praise with you because they too busy sitting there thinking about when it's going to be my time, when he going to come by my house, when he going to bless me with a husband, when he going to bless me with a wife, when he going to bless me with a car, when he going to bless me with a house, when I'm going to get my new job. And you just are shouting and dancing, and they sitting there looking, win. Baby, stop worrying about win and just go ahead and celebrate, because just like they just came out, there's a now time set for you. And it might be next week that you'll be shouting and get your praise on. It might just be next week if you can get your heart together and get your mind together. There's a now set for everybody. Somebody look at your neighbor and say, it's set, baby, it's set, it's set. I got a day, it's set, it's set, it's set. I got a set day. That's why the psalm says, look towards the hill which cometh your help coming from Yahweh. That means it's coming. That means it's already set. He's made an appointment with you, and he's going to show up, but you got to keep looking up. Sometimes the reason why you can miss your appointment is because you start looking down. That's why it says, lift up your heads, O ye gates, and the King of Kabod shall come in. You got to lift your head up and keep looking, keep expecting, keep believing, keep trusting, keep walking, keep doing. There's a set appointment, and I'm on my way.